something.
I used to use a lot of other ways to research, but I'm just going to use you. I'm just going to say, can you
Aaron,
tell me
listen,
all the things
if
that I
you
never
want
knew about the world?
statistically invalid anecdotal evidence, I've got all of it
You're
available.
You're the guy.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, this is Truth Egg.
So Daniel posed the question: billionaires. Do we need billionaires? And then I said, can they go to heaven? Or maybe you said, can they go to heaven?
I wanted to know if billionaires go to heaven, and if so, where do I sign up?
And
For both classes.
Yeah, I want to sign up for being a billionaire first, and then,
I think God's
I hear
next
you.
challenge for me should be struggling with an obscene amount of money.
So I loved it. I love this question. Can you be a person of faith and be a billionaire? I don't think you can, by the way. That's just my hot take. But
you don't think you can?
I don't
Okay,
think you can.
Don't
I know,
ruin the
I know,
show.
I know.
He doesn't think
But
he
that's,
can.
No, I don't think you can.
Oh, it's others that you're judging.
You don't
we're-
think I can.
Correct. But that's what the topic
And what does your
today.
religion say about judging
And we'll
others?
get into what you do and how money affects your job.
Can
and
I
all-
mention a gentleman's name that's a perfect example?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Well, I don't remember his last name, but he owns a big company, a musical instrument company in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I know about it.
We're talking
Sweetwater.
about
Sweetwater.
Sweetwater, yeah.
And he is a billionaire and a man of faith.
Well,
Yeah.
See, this
Nice
is great.
guy,
This
very
is
nice
great.
guy.
Sounds like a
Frank's
jackass.
gonna bring a great deal. Frank's gonna bring a great deal of input on this because Catholic Business Exchange and some of our other.
Yeah,
mutual
I would
friends.
imagine wealth and faith is a normal intersection for you.
Yeah, I've been surprised as I've been in this role for 4 years at how many well-to-do Catholics there are in our community. And a lot of them are liberal, some of
Yeah.
them are conservative.
Yeah.
It's a wide range.
All right, hang on. Oh, go ahead.
Are you going to introduce our guest now?
Oh, geez, I'm so sorry.
Should I call him
Yes.
Carl until the formal
Yeah,
introduction?
yeah.
We got to get better at this
we
format
stink
of the
at
show.
this. I'd like to introduce our guest.
Would you please?
He's
You
a
might
friend
as
of
well.
he's a friend of mine. His name's Frank Egan. Frank and I met at the downtown Indianapolis Rotary Club. Oh gosh, 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
At least.
It's
I was
been a
a
while.
member for a moment.
Were you really?
Daniel
I
was.
was.
Wonderful.
Then he left.
It was.
And then he came back after I left.
And membership continues to decline.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Are you still an active Rotarian?
I am not. I
Yeah.
am not.
We-
Yeah.
Like the rest of us.
Yeah.
But we do share a mutual friend with Frank, Greg Albright.
Greg Albright. I
Great
barely
guy.
know the
Why
guy.
do I know? Yeah, I
Greg
know that
Albright
name.
But he is a really great guy. But I really don't know him very well.
Yeah, he's a Rotarian.
Class act.
Did all the marketing for the Indianapolis Rotary Club and a lot of different things. But Frank, he helped you, right?
He
Get to
did.
where you are?
I'm where I'm at for a large percentage of Greg's effort. So
Wait.
I called Greg up. I was at a for-profit company selling health insurance, which I absolutely hated. But for some reason, I did it for 8 years. And I wanted to get back into a mission-based fundraising position. And
So you had done that before in the past
at
somewhere?
at the Indiana Historical Society.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I called Greg up and said, are there any openings? And he said, as a matter of fact, there is. Let me mention your name. I got the interview, and it was pretty mind-blowing
Yeah.
where I got the job. So
They're like, this is the guy. This
Yeah.
is the guy. This is him.
Yeah, I was
Hire
in-
this man.
yeah, I was 61 or 60, and I thought, well, no one's going to hire an old man. And I had 3 job offers, and I took Marion.
What were
You
the
had
other,
3 job offers.
What were the other two?
So
Can you say?
Cena Memorial High School,
Oh, yeah.
development director there,
Yeah.
and a job at a professional employment organization called Insperity.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Heard of
who
them?
they are.
Yeah.
Yep. I do. We do some
So-
other stuff.
What is your background that puts you in the contention for those roles?
I go to lunch a lot.
It's true. He does.
I've been in sales really early in my career and enjoyed it. I was good at it. But when I got into fundraising, I really felt like there was a lot of transferable skills from sales to fundraising. It really, if you're a fundraiser, it's all about conversations with people because everybody's got a story. And you want to find out what their true passions and interests are. It's not just asking for money. It's tying it to an emotional.
It's understanding them.
identity and purpose. And,
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
That sounds like you could be teaching a sales course.
I don't know about that.
Well, We need good people. Anyway,
He said he didn't know.
Do you enjoy it?
that's how I know he's good.
Do you enjoy doing
This
it?
this is the best job I've ever had.
Honest to goodness.
wow.
I'm being honest, totally honest.
Are you able to talk more about? I'm
Yeah,
sorry
yeah,
to keep
no,
interrupting.
go.
I rarely meet people who are grateful for the work they do.
Yeah, I love it because the whole atmosphere where I'm at is very uplifting, and people work together and want to help each other and encourage each other. And you're helping these students become really great people. When they go to Marian University, they get a great education, and they become I hate this sounds corny, but they really do become transformative leaders. And so that's a very cool.
But you're right.
thing.
That's very corny.
It is. You're right. You're right.
In a way that I like. I really like.
I put it in my emails, transformative leaders, and everyone. And I never get any
man.
response. So
Yeah. Stop.
yeah,
I like corn nuts. Anyway, so
What does Greg do at Marian?
well,
today?
actually, right now he is the chief of staff.
No.
He got promoted,
Wow.
so he works directly for the president. And
we're talking about Greg Albright still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, we just got
Right.
back to him.
Wow.
Yeah. He's
I
moving.
didn't
was
realize-
confused. I was like, I didn't realize your name was Greg.
I thought he
and
was
you
still
talking
in-
the third person.
I thought he was still, kind of running Rotary, but let me ask you a question about Rotary. Why are you not a member anymore?
Well, when I went to the new job at Marian, they had just got out of it and didn't want to pay for a new membership. And,
Okay.
And I wasn't going to fork out the money for that on my own. So,
And
Yeah.
you had plenty of work laid out in front of you to.
oh my God.
Plenty of lunches on your own.
Yeah,
Correct,
and actually, that opens up one more day to go to lunch.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
A better lunch too, if I recall.
yeah, for half the price.
Oh goodness! Don't get me started.
Hey, don't
I won't.
don't spill their tea.
I know. I'm sorry. I take it back. It was a lovely lunch.
Anyway, so you're at Marian. Things are going great. You're transforming young children into adult, transformative, corny leaders.
And adults into second careers.
Okay, that's right. I forgot
Good
about
point.
that program.
Good
Yeah,
point.
the
Good
master's
point.
program. Yeah.
Yep. I want to talk about how you chase money, because at the end of the day, that's what you do, right? I mean, you're chasing money for the university.
Chasing's an interesting word.
Well,
Yeah.
Is that on
Well, it's
purpose?
a podcast. We like interesting
Yeah,
words.
yeah.
well,
It's funny because my boss uses that word.
I would-
okay, then
Who are
good.
you
It's-
chasing? Who are you
Yeah,
chasing?
the
because,
right word,
because
yeah.
I feel like you have to do that. I feel like you can't just sit back and idly wait for
No, you
someone to
can't.
be a benefactor.
No, letters and emails, and they're only so good. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to be proactive and go out there and try to generate
Yeah.
conversations with prospects.
So what's that look like? Can you walk us through a day in the life of
Sure.
trying to land somebody? Like
Well-
Daniel wants to write a check, maybe?
He might be asking me at the end of the show. He usually waits till the end.
You notice the way his eyebrows went up a little bit. He was like, "I want to see if this is, a
this
joke
real?
or
You're right.
He's really
He's
kind of
mad as
feeling
a
me out
man.
right now.
yeah.
it's a man
What's
who knows what
important
he's
to you,
doing."
Daniel?
Go ahead, Frank, please.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different aspects of my job, but one of the things I do is I call people that gave this time last year, but haven't given yet. And some of that is very transactional, where I'm calling them and thanking them and saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, would you consider renewing your gift from last year?" Some of those
Renewing your gift.
renewing your gift, yes.
It's clever.
It's the language.
It's
the,
clever.
It's
Well,
the
what-
language that
the
makes
language
it so
is
special.
everything.
I'm going to start using, would you like to renew your sales?
Yes.
I like it. Go on.
But that's more transactional.
Yeah.
The real meat and potatoes of finding a diamond in the rough
Yeah.
is asking really good questions. Like, tell me about your story and how it started at Marian. Why did you pick Marian College as the place you wanted to go to? And as conversation goes, who was your favorite professor? And as it goes down the road, what kind of legacy would you like to leave?
Are your benefactors predominantly alumni?
About 50-50.
Oh,
Really?
About 50-50, yeah.
Wow.
And it's interesting because a lot of our benefactors are not Catholic.
That's even more
Interesting.
surprising.
So, do people ever reach out to Marian University and say, "I want to become a benefactor"?
Yes.
Maybe they're not using those words. So you have to chase the majority, but then sometimes people say, "Hey, we want to be involved in what you guys are doing."
an inbound sales, as it were.
Yeah, that's what
It
they
was
call
an
it.
inbound. Well, I just had an inbound sale last week. A lady called our office and they turned her on to me. She wanted to leave her estate to us, or some portion of her estate to us.
Wow.
So I sent her the letter of intent. She filled it out. She mailed it back, and Yeah, it wasn't for a ton of money, but it's $50,000 that the university is going to receive at some
Yeah.
point. I probably won't be there, but it's going to make somebody happy.
Yeah, somebody's going to be able to go to school.
Correct. So
This may be a question you can't answer. So please, if you can't, just say I can't share it. But how
That's a
much?
good strategy,
How much
yeah.
do you guys raise in a given year?
So this past fiscal year, and it ended June 30th, we raised $75 million.
What?
$75 million.
Is that a normal year, or is that?
Oh,
an
no, God, no. That's a record.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Record high?
Record high.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's been a rough year. It's been a
75
rough year.
million.
Based on what I pay in my
What's a
student
normal
loans.
year look like?
You know, a normal year would probably be in the beginning 5 or 6 million, then
Wow.
10 million, then 20 million. It just kind of built up
Yeah.
because Dan Elsner is such a visionary. He's added an engineering school, a medical school, which has picked up our enrollment.
Yeah.
Right now, a lot
That
of college.
increases the diamonds in the rough.
Correct,
Which, by the way,
correct.
I would be the rough, just so you know.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But he's a really good diamond.
We
Yeah.
love it. We love it. But there's a lot of private colleges, small private colleges, going under right now because their enrollment is dropping so so badly, and
Yeah.
our trend is going the opposite way. We're very blessed.
Do the students all have? It's a tough question. Is the student body predominantly Catholic?
Probably 60%.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not a requirement.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
That's where I was going.
And I
with
said
it.
God.
I know. Look at you.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you for
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
No, God's fine. He's
Yeah. So it's like Notre Dame.
He's
you can go
actually
to
a
Notre
friend of
Dame.
the
and
podcast.
Day,
God is a
however it
friend
may
of the
be.
podcast. So it's like Notre Dame. You can go to Notre Dame. You don't have to be Catholic,
Nope.
right?
Does it help?
You don't even have to like football.
Hang on.
Well,
does it,
I don't know
does it
about
help,
that.
Does it
Oh, you
help in
will.
admission? Because I would think you
That's
would
a-
say that
yeah.
it does help to be Catholic.
I would
Does
think.
it help to be Catholic for admission?
That's a
Well,
good question.
that's a good question.
We're
I
not
don't-
allowed to answer that,
I don't know. Well, I
Would
don't
be
know if I'm not.
discrimination.
I don't know if I'm not allowed to answer it, but
just not truthfully.
I just don't know the secret sauce of the requirements of enrollment. I know
Yeah.
GPA is one of them.
Yeah.
and-
Well, in hindsight, religious affiliation is a protected class, so you could not
That's correct.
hire
All right.
or fire.
Fire,
et cetera.
Okay, so you knew the answer all
No,
along.
no, I was just thinking about
trying
it.
to
And I
trick 'em.
couldn't remember if religion or spiritual faith was, and I think it is one of the protected classes.
But some colleges will let people in because of their families. So
Yes.
you have a
Yeah.
yeah, it just has
a
to
lineage
not
that
be
went
for
here,
that
right.
reason on
Yeah,
paper.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why they came here. They're all Catholic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we're going to talk about the topic of billionaires today,
It's a big topic.
and I guess and since Frank's a billionaire, right?
Right. Well, I talked to billionaires.
Okay, so he
Basically a
talks-
billionaire.
Yeah, you're basically a billionaire as well.
Okay.
In
Thank
spirit.
You. Definitely in spirit.
So, but the thing that we're trying to uncover while everybody finishes their text messages.
No,
and
I'm not
stuff,
texting. I'm Googling how
Me
many
too, in the
billionaires
U.S.
are.
I already
yeah,
got you.
there it is.
First of all, you're
was-
Googling. Why don't you send
was-
a telegraph?
I
Michael?
was doing. I was doing.
900.
I was doing the state of Indiana.
902.
In the,
Oh,
in the
Indiana.
U.S.,
In the
there's
US.
900 billionaires in the U.S. Do we need any of them?
Yes.
And,
No.
And Aaron says yes. So
I
I'd
say
like
no.
you to explain yourself.
Oh, well, because if we don't have producers and performers and innovators, then the other third doesn't have anybody paying their way.
Why do you think that it's the billionaires that are the a necessary part?
Let me make an exception or a designation. I don't know anything about inherited wealth. Well, I don't know anything about being a billionaire. So I will leave inherited wealth aside because I have no idea what that dynamic would be. But anybody that developed a business, you mentioned one earlier, Sweetwater, if it's okay to say, that has to be a remarkable story. And for it to be sustainable, and for you even to say that the person behind it, you spoke very fondly or kindly of them, I think it takes exceptional people to accomplish that. And I think we breed resentment for largely political gain, to hate people who accomplish and to villainize them. And so I see that. That's most of the messaging I get is if you don't have everything you want, it's because someone took it from you. And those people who have the things you want must have stolen it and you deserve it. And that is a message that disgusts me.
So interesting.
which I probably just made up, but
Probably.
I've been thinking about the topic of producers. And you mentioned, we need billionaires because we need people that can produce this innovation.
the question was, should there
whatever.
be billionaires? I said yes.
Should there? Yeah. Sorry. And in probably every one of those cases, that person might have, been a catalyst to some outcomes, but there were many other producers that got maybe no credit for it. Maybe nothing more than just a salary.
that's that resentment mentality I was telling you about.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
There he is.
Someone else deserves it.
But
Yeah, I agree with you that nobody accomplishes
capitalism, which I'm a fan of.
Capitalism
personally.
needs a bottom.
I think we're all
Capitalism-
fans of
I'm
capitalism.
a big fan
for the
of
record.
capitalism. But
It's a terrible system, but have you heard about the others?
They're worse.
so let's say that a guy comes up with an idea, or
Or a gal.
or a gal,
Or
potentially
something else.
potentially, and they're going to create something wild, something incredible, and then they convince the government to give them either a tax credit or maybe
subsidy
even
of
some
some
kind of
sort to
subsidy.
help.
Yeah, and
Well,
then
since they are subsidizing the government.
yeah, right. Exactly. And then they become incredibly wealthy, and all the people that work for them that also paid into those taxes,
Right.
that tax subsidy, did not get the same kind of return where they may have invested just as much financially
Yep.
as this founder did. I just
They didn't, but go on.
I think you need to explain yourself, Aaron.
No, I'm saying that that resentment mentality. Somebody owes me something because I helped. Yes, I'm not saying people who contributed.
And in some cases, they didn't just help; they actually
Did the work.
created,
Were they- hang on,
invented the thing.
Was that what they were hired and paid to do?
I would assume so. I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
But-
Congratulations, you
Aaron-
did your job.
Yeah.
But so was
And they
so
took-
was
hang on,
so
hang-
was the billionaire though.
No. Did they
ahead.
take all the risk? Because I'll
Well-
tell you right now, every employee I've ever had has bitched about not being given enough money for mostly doing the job they agreed to the first time.
Aaron, I think you're a little bitter about your employees.
All of them.
If
25 years of it. And
if you-
and the moment things got hard, well, I'm not helping.
All right. Let's look at the tech sector just to reel this in a little bit. The tech sector, you can go all the way back to Apple with Steve Jobs and his three guys or
Wozniak and all
two.
that,
Yeah, right. So they went out and they blood, sweat, and tears. I would argue that it's not one person that becomes the billionaire. It's the as Daniel was referring to, it's those individuals that bought in early, and yes, they were hired to do a job, and yes, they were paid, probably inadequately. I don't think any of those people are saying
That's a
you owe
story.
me, right? It's no different
No,
than your
well, these
right,
people are
right,
saying we
right,
owe them.
Right. So when I look at that, I don't think any one person should ever be a billionaire, ever. And I can point to the famous Elon Musk right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you
At what point of me being an exceptional performer am I supposed to stop?
You
'Cause-
don't.
Well,
But
'cause-
here's
no,
the
hang
point.
on, 'cause
But I'm
no-
saying no.
nothing
You
that-
won't be a billionaire without some type of support, either from the federal government or from a private enterprise.
Okay.
I say to you, go knock it out of the park. I just don't think anyone can get there on their own as a billionaire. I think it
You
takes.
can't get a job on your own.
Well, you understand.
You can't
what I'm
work
saying.
at
But you
Starbucks
understand
on
what
your
I'm saying.
own.
Yeah,
if you
but
want to
They
create
also
a
don't
billion
deserve
dollar,
$1 billion.
if you want to create a $1 billion industry, it takes infrastructure, typically from the federal government,
Yeah.
to build that up and into it. So there are a lot of entities that come into play to make that happen. But at the end, it's usually one guy or gal that stands head and shoulders above everybody else, saying, "Hey, I was the architect behind this. I was
Took the
quarterback."
risk, saw the
Yeah.
vision,
I wouldn't
assembled
even
the
say,
team.
Yeah, and I'm not even
And
sure
by
they
the
take
way,
all
the
risk.
government has never given more than it's taken.
The government's never
You,
given
you,
more
this-
than say.
I
Oh,
am
yeah,
familiar
yeah,
with
yeah,
your
yeah,
narrative
yeah,
about
yeah,
government
right.
subsidies are magical, and that's why billionaires are just given money.
No,
That-
no. That's not what I'm saying.
The government
that's not what I'm saying.
subsidizes work
The government
that it needs and
subsidizes.
can't do affordably.
Not entirely true. It subsidizes.
What does the government produce?
The government produces the same thing as any other business.
That's 100% correct.
Nothing.
Correct. You have to think about your business. You're in the marketing business. You do consulting. You produce
Sure.
nothing. You produce
No,
nothing.
I was going to say the consulting's free. It's worthless. Ideas are worthless.
Okay.
Execution is everything. Engineering's the hard
Okay.
part.
And you know what? There's lots of execution happening in
Yeah,
the government as well. And I'm not talking about it being the most efficient business there is, but it is a business and it operates like any other business.
Yeah, it does.
Except it produces nothing.
How can you even calculate that it produces nothing when it's producing
What does the
enormous amounts
government
of things?
manufacture? All it does is take taxes and then spend it in its interest. Right?
Well, that's what businesses do. That's what a business does.
Businesses take taxes and spend it in their own
No,
interest.
they receive revenue from some source, and
From
then they
something
produce
they've
something with
produced.
that revenue.
Right.
No other way around. They produce and then receive revenue.
Well, not always.
Sure, I agree.
Probably half of the businesses out there don't produce something until they get
Sorry, I
hired
didn't
for it.
realize this was a government apologist
No,
podcast.
no, it's not. All I'm trying to say is that I don't believe that any one individual can say they are a billionaire on their own right. You keep going back to risk and assembling the team and everything else.
We're having different. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
we
right.
have different. You're saying nobody does it alone. I agree.
Yeah.
So I'm saying somebody has to take all of the risk and control all of the vision. And if, by the way, 99.9% of the time they eat shit and we never hear of them.
True.
Because it
True.
almost never works
yeah,
out.
it fails, right.
Yeah.
It
Right.
burns out, right.
And when it does, we resent them because they did well and we haven't.
I
And
don't resent
why
any
hasn't
of them.
somebody given me something?
Yeah, I don't resent anyone that's made.
Yeah,
their
I'm
way
not
in
the
life.
resentment crowd. But
me either.
let me
That's
ask
not my
Frank a
thing.
question.
Oh, we have a
Because
guest today.
I love
Frank-
this. This is very interesting.
Well, and I was going to say I'm very strongly opinionated and poorly informed, so it should be entertaining.
That's the
It's
concept
entertaining.
of our show.
Yeah, pretty much.
But okay, so this is a conversation, and it is not intended to. When we act like we hate each other, it's because we really do hate each other. No, I'm kidding. No,
I admire your hair.
thank you so much.
you do have great hair.
I mean,
Thank you.
hey, Daniel,
I've been practicing.
what's left of it?
There's not much.
Wow.
So, Frank, do you think that there should be billionaires? Like, is there any morality in your mind attached to the idea of somebody having so much wealth?
This couldn't have been a better segue about something that's going on at Marian University right now. It's the Fortune Institute. Jock Fortune gave a sizable donation to us to start what's called the Fortune Institute to teach students moral capitalism.
Hell yeah.
And
Heck yeah.
Thank you, Aaron.
Gosh, yeah.
and civic engagement. And because right now, I think in some pockets of our population, capitalism has a bad name, and
It can.
there are some justified complaints
Absolutely.
if it's immoral. But if it's moral, then I think the result of that, you're going to have some people that do really, really, really well, and there's always going to be some people on the middle and the bottom.
Capitalism needs a bottom.
Okay, I like that.
I've heard that, but I couldn't explain it to you.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Everybody can't win the race.
I know Jock, and he's a member out at the club, and he's one of the most generous people that I personally know. He gives.
Oh, he's great. The Fortune family is so nice.
They're phenomenal, and they give.
And a great last name.
Right?
Yeah.
Give unconditionally and zero expectations.
They do.
They're
They do.
phenomenal people.
No, they are.
truly are.
Tied
Yeah.
with bonjour for
Yeah,
a surname.
yeah, that was a good one.
Also a friend of the podcast.
So, Frank, go back to the question though. Do you rephrase your question? Would you
Well,
please?
he was answering it great. I mean,
Maybe we should stop talking.
yeah.
Frank,
Keep telling
why is
us
it such
about
a
this
great
program.
time with the Fortune Institute?
Well, we call them Fortune Scholars, but they're students that become Fortune Scholars, and they minor in moral capitalism and civic engagement. But they can be medical students, they can be business students, they can be engineering students, or just liberal arts and sciences. There's a speaker series that occurs every year where we bring people from the left and people from the right to kind of talk to the audience. And the whole purpose behind this is just to make better informed citizens.
Yeah.
That because with mass media and the digital age, there's just so
the
many
misinformation complex.
Correct. It's just so fragmented, and everybody can hide behind their laptop and say whatever they want. And it's crazy. But I don't know if I answered your question.
Well, I'm fascinated with hearing about this program, and so keep telling me about that. So you've got it's engaging people in conversation.
What
It's
is moral
helping them-
capitalism? If you don't mind me
what is
asking.
that?
Yeah, so Marian University is foundation. The foundation is Franciscan values, St. Francis of Assisi. So there's stewardship, dignity of the individual, reconciliation, and President Elzer is going to kill me. I don't remember the fourth one right now, but
Remembering your
Remembering four things.
retaining your values, I think is what it is. Yeah.
but with those values, I think it blends in very well with the idea of moral capitalism. When decisions are made based upon those values, then you're on the right track.
Yeah.
I think I would agree with that, by the way, in terms of if we rephrase the question, do I think there should be billionaires? I think we should be asking the question, should we have moral capitalism at the hierarchy of our billionaires?
Yeah. So what I would say to that is that for there to be moral capitalism in the way that you just described it, Frank,
Which I don't understand yet, but go on.
we'll come back to it. It would have to be ingrained into our culture.
Yes.
So a program like what Marion is doing is the way, at least in the scale that you all can impact. It's the way to do it, is to teach it.
Well, and it has been. It's literally ingrained in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the entire history of the country.
But our culture, I think, is not.
But our culture has rejected it over individualism and self-satisfaction.
Agreed.
And to your point,
Agreed.
romanticization,
Yeah.
the
That's a good one.
romanticizing, and I'm going to use these broad terms, but capitalism, socialism, communism, etc. It is the demand that everyone else also not have anything.
Yeah.
Because it's not about making it better. It's I'm bitter that you've done well and I haven't.
You keep harping on that.
I think that's a
That's
false view of the world.
Yeah, I do too.
No, I think-
I don't think that's right.
Okay.
I really don't.
So, Aaron, you've been burned a couple times.
No, not necessarily. He's
about to be.
I am about to be. What do you got?
No,
But it sounds like it, doesn't it?
No, I'm just saying I've had to live around and with a lot of resentful low performers
Okay.
who are bitter about the success of others.
Namely him, Aaron.
Not necessarily, because
But
I don't
you-
consider myself that successful.
well,
will-
I'm
you
talking
will-
about the
you
people
will-
that you're referring to may be bitter
yeah.
towards
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And
Oh,
that's
yeah, all
yeah.
anecdotal, by
Right,
the way.
right.
I have no broad experience. And it seems to be very popularized in media. It's the message that I get from most things. It's not okay to be a billionaire. That's been a very powerful, pushed message. I'd say this year, at least the last few months. I think it's largely to turn people against people impacting the political situation. So I'm not surprised to hear it because that is the message that's been assigned.
I'm on the moral compass of it, though.
About 30 years ago, we used to respect champions. We used to respect people succeeding. We used to admire them and say, how can I be like that? How can I also become wealthy and contribute to my community, the things that I value? We've given up on that because the answer is it's very hard and not everybody makes it,
Right.
right? So now the answer is, well, if you make it, you don't deserve it. And if I can't have it, at least it should be taken from you.
I don't agree with that at all.
I know you don't, but that's what I've heard.
Okay, I'm just saying. I wake up every morning motivated to go out and.
I'm not saying
crush
you.
it.
No,
No,
I'm
I
saying the
know, I know,
messaging
I know,
that
I
I've
know.
heard. All of us here have decided
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we
yeah,
want
yeah.
to be
Yeah,
responsible for
right,
our own
right.
future.
I get it.
And we have work
I
to
get
build
it.
things. We've
Yeah,
had
I get it.
opportunity and luck, and
Yeah.
all kinds of things, but like with relationships, I hope
Yeah.
you get lucky with a partner and you're going to have to work really, really hard.
Oh, yeah.
The bitter people that say the same things that I'm hearing today
I hear what you're
are the
saying now.
people who refuse to work hard and are now past the point where anyone gives a shit about them doing well.
Okay, so I want to segue on that just
Yeah,
for a
you're
second.
right, and it
because-
is like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah,
Now
right,
we've narrowed
right,
it down to a
I
handful.
want to segue on that for a second because as a society, I think we have failed miserably when we took trades out of the equation, right? And here's why I'm saying that. When you take trades out of the equation for a job to sustain a family or raise a family, right? You can be carpenter, a plumber, a mechanic, any of those jobs that we've said, oh no, not my kid. My kid's got to go to college. My kid's got to have a white collar job.
Yeah.
When
The
we
romanticizing the liberal elite. Yeah.
When we removed that, we suddenly took away a vast piece of our
Wealth creation.
yes,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
and so those individuals.
Schools tricked us into thinking
I think
an
those
African study degree was somehow more important
I
than
think those
plumbing.
I think those individuals sit there today going, "What about me?"
I do.
Right?
By the way, I'd give my education back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I would too.
Worthless. liberal art education.
But you
Yeah,
see where
yeah.
I'm coming from, right?
no, I
That
understand the
there's that-
bitterness and resentment.
Well, there's a
they were
segment there.
tricked, they fell for it, and now they're suffering,
well,
and it's not their fault.
or didn't even go, or just
You'd
idly
be better off not going.
just idly sitting on the sidelines going, "Hey man, I'm watching my best friend go into debt and doesn't have a job. I really don't want to do any of that. I really don't want to do this.
I
don't
also
want-"
don't want to have to work and
Yeah.
learn stuff.
right.
So
give me money. Go
And why
ahead.
When
can't I
when
have a
I'm-
house too?
when I'm thinking about the idea of
Does everyone deserve a house,
it-
Michael?
is it moral capitalism? Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah, and I was just going to add something if I could.
Yeah, please.
So
I'm sorry.
Jump-
Would you
jump-
like to
Frank,
participate?
jump in.
Sure. No, but Aaron, you said something that you didn't quite. You can't wrap your head around moral capitalism. You don't know what it is yet.
I don't know the program or the definition.
And I suggest the next person you bring in, if you want to talk about it again, is Chris Creighton, who heads up the Fortune Institute.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
in-
wonderful.
But anyway, so the four-way test. Could you repeat that for us, Michael? The rotary four-way test.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
You can't.
I can't.
Will it build?
is it-
Hold
is
on.
it true?
Is it true?
Will it build better friendships?
Chips. Gosh, Daniel, help me out.
Is it true? Is it?
Can I tell you the one like this? Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said now? Does it need to
No,
be said
no,
by me?
no. Go
So
ahead,
there's
Frank. Do you
some
know?
version of that.
Let's hear them. Is it true?
Will it build?
Will help build better friendships.
Yes. Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Yeah.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned?
Yeah.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Yeah.
And before you make decisions in capitalism, that's a good example. Let me
Man.
turn that off.
You're okay. Can't
Yeah,
even
no,
hear it.
that's great.
So think about that for a second.
Well, no, I mean I do. That
But
well-
should be a foundation for approaching anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
But we've
what I-
lost that completely in our individual rewardism.
if I can answer whether I think billionaires should exist or not, I think that culture and politics, the law, whatever the system is what I'll call it, would be best if it's set up in a way that minimizes the number of people that become billionaires because the wealth is spread out more evenly. And I don't mean that
it's
there
called-
isn't
It's
enormous.
socialism
Well,
No, it's not,
no,
Aaron.
No, I
is
don't
by
agree.
definition.
No, it's not, Aaron.
Okay, go on.
I agree with Daniel.
Oh,
on
is it
this.
communism then? Did I get that
Would
wrong?
you
I get that wrong a lot. Whatever it is where you take from the producers and distribute to the non-producers
No.
so everybody is equally hungry.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh, I thought that's exactly what you said. Go on.
Oh my God.
No, we
is wrong?
should prevent people from being wealthy and make
That's
sure
not what he-
everyone else
that's
has that
not what he
wealth.
said.
It was, but go on.
Finish this.
Start
before
over.
I hit him.
No, that was not what I was saying.
Okay.
So I think that if culture and the laws work together in such a way that I believe that it would be fantastic for people to have no limitation, nothing that keeps them from becoming wealthy, except that they have to get there. And to get there, you have to hire people, you have to buy things, you have to invest in stuff, you have to take risks, all this kind of stuff. And if the system would be tuned in such a way that, which requires this culture piece, that the wealth is spread out more evenly. And by evenly, I don't mean that literally everybody gets a bonus to make sure that they have the same exact income, but more that the bottom is not so far down, and that the middle is stable, and that the top does not have full control over everything
It's not the
around
20/80 principle.
Hang on, that's
it. Yeah.
So no, I get it.
So just to put it practically, to oversimplify, I know this can't be implemented, but let's just say that somebody has a company that has 100 employees and one owner. So if those 100 employees make, picking a number, $50,000 a year, and then the owner makes $1 million, that might be the owner's prerogative to do that. Mm-hmm. But it might be a healthier company if, in a healthier world around that company, if that owner said, you know what, I'm going to pay my employees $100,000, and which ultimately means that I reduce my income, but I still make, and I'm not very good at doing the math, but whatever
50,000 times 100 employees.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm making
Your
up numbers, and
right.
we have revenues
Right,
beyond
right,
that,
right,
and then
right,
profits left
right,
over.
right.
But
So
let's
Matt-
say he makes $500,000 instead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we
because he's-
we
I get what
cap
you're
the upper and
Yeah.
we floor the bottom.
Yeah.
And this is the third time now you've described socialism exactly,
Yeah.
which is redistributing the wealth so that the top are less wealthy and there's more economic parity with the lower and middle classes.
So
So
let's
socialism
and the question
and
is who
capitalism.
decides?
Right, sure.
Let's bring faith into this equation.
Okay, go for
bring
it.
Sure.
Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in.
I can't argue with faith.
So let's talk about we can debate, should you or should you not be a billionaire? Should we have them? Should we not have them? All I know is that some of the billionaires that exist today have come out verbally and said,
Who? And don't use Elon Musk because I know what you
Wayne
read.
Buffett, Bill Gates.
Warren Buffett?
Warren Buffett.
I didn't know if Wayne
Well,
Buffett
let him
was
finish his thought.
Warren
Yeah,
Buffett. Warren Buffett.
Okay.
Have come out and said, first of all, we make an absurd amount of money. Second of
They
all,
can't
we don't
spend it.
get taxed nearly as much as we should. There's a disproportionate value to us versus everybody else.
Yes.
They're on record saying.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking for them. I'm just saying repeating what's been said. So we can have that conversation, but I would
And the
argue
system is rigged, by the way.
absolutely, absolutely. And it's not like you can go to a business school at a university, Marion, and say, I want to learn how to be a billionaire. It doesn't work that way. I mean, there's an incredible amount of luck and
A
timing.
billionaire is
It's
the
a-
symptom of something,
That's
not
right.
not the thing.
I own.
It's not a job.
I'm from
It's not a
Saudi
profession.
Arabia, and everyone needs oil, and suddenly my whole family's a billionaire, right?
That's a great
downplaying it.
example of inherited wealth. Yeah.
Exactly. What I would argue is, let's acknowledge we've got the billionaires. What are they doing that's good for all of us? And I don't mean redistribution of wealth, but I am talking about moral capitalism. I love that phrase. I am talking about doing good things for people beyond yourself.
Spreading the consciousness of humanity across the stars.
How about Daniel's example? I love
Solved.
because Lori and I took our business and said, okay, we're making money. I mean, we're doing really well, but we got to take care of everybody else.
Bringing commerce, energy, communication, and space travel to the entire human race. Is that valuable?
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay.
Of course it is. But what I'm trying to say is it's not a disproportionate value, meaning my value, because I have a vision as to what my company should be, doesn't mean that I should morally think I'm worth 100 times more than the people that are actually helping me get to that position.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't get to determine your value first. That's
Of course
the market's
not.
position.
But even once the value is determined,
Yeah.
from a moral perspective, from a faith perspective, I would want to bring the people with me that helped me get there. I want to raise everybody up. I don't want to just absorb it.
You're
I don't
implying
wanna
that
eat it.
that billionaires don't.
I'm not talking about billionaires. I'm talking about me at the moment. I'm not talking
Oh,
about.
I'm sorry. You weren't
Right.
implying. I was
Right.
making that association.
Right,
is
right,
that
right.
The way that you're phrasing it is suggesting that other people don't do that.
I'm suggesting that in our society, we have made the allowance or the expectation of an acceptance of foolish behavior from billionaires. We look at a stereotypical elderly white billionaire male and we say, yeah, we expect you to cheat. Yes, we expect you to cheat on your wife. Yes, we expect you to cheat in your business. It is tolerable. We accept it.
No.
It's been proven. Yes, I'll pull up the articles.
Well, I don't, so
But
I reject
soci-
your assertion.
But society has absolutely embraced.
yeah, plumbers cheat too. What?
I'm not saying they don't.
People are
I'm
bad.
not saying they don't, Aaron. I am saying that we have made an exception to billionaires.
And
because-
plumbers?
I'm not talking about plumbers. I'm talking
I'm
about
being
billionaires.
way too contentious.
I know
Sorry,
you
I'll
are.
back off
Yeah.
a little bit.
But we have absolutely made a moral acceptance of that piece. If we didn't, we wouldn't have elected a certain individual and put him in office. We wouldn't have.
Which one? Name any of them.
All of them. All of them. That's my point. It's
Yeah.
not one person.
80% of
it's
them.
not left or right. It's not one person.
So
It's
let me
all
ask
of
a
it.
few questions
So, yeah,
based on what
please.
you just said.
Please.
So one, why aren't we talking about any of the not white billionaires? Because there's more of them.
Yeah, well, I just.
But I bet you couldn't name one because that's
I
not
couldn't.
what your TV tells you to focus
No,
on.
what I'm. Well, hold on. The Wall Street Journal did a expose. I think it was it was pre-pandemic, so it was probably 2018 or 2019. And it talked about how we as a society have grown to expect and accept that behavior. And it
Again,
was-
I disagree.
I
Just because a
understand.
newspaper said it
Okay.
probably
but-
means it's not true.
Okay, so go on. So that's wrong. I take
Secondly,
that all back. It's all
why are-
false. It
Well,
doesn't
no,
exist.
I read
Sorry.
in a newspaper once. I believe you read it, but I
Well,
don't believe that
you-
they're telling the truth or
Okay.
speaking for all of culture.
Okay.
And my experience with the media is if they assert it, it's probably not true.
Okay.
That's their job.
That's
is
pretty unreasonable, though.
no.
That's
A
pretty
little.
unreasonable to just say that because
If
it's
they
published that
assert it, no, not that it's published. If they insist it, if
Mm-hmm.
a narrative is insisted, I can't think of an example when it's been true.
Okay, I think we're getting caught up in the details.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
go back. So
Yeah,
you
go
were
ahead.
just making all these moral judgments about billionaires and how we're okay with them doing this and that. One, I don't
The
know
acceptance.
any billionaires. You know some billionaires.
And I don't know that he cheats.
No, that's what I was going to say is since you're the only person here who has some relationship, are all billionaires the way that we're insisting they are? Immoral, depraved,
I don't think we've yet
humanless?
I don't think we've
think
yet
we have.
insisted that they are a certain
I don't
thing.
know. We've got an hour of it. And
You
3
think so?
examples of
I
socialism.
think you're hearing this the wrong way.
I do
Okay.
too. I really do.
I think
Well, I know
there's-
I'm disagreeing with you two because you guys have very similar opinions. We shouldn't have billionaires. That's somehow bad. We should.
I haven't
control
said
them.
that yet.
You
He
said no
hasn't.
and no. You
No, I
also
did
said
not.
we shouldn't allow them have money.
No, I did not.
Yeah, we should limit the amount of money people
Nope.
can have.
Nope.
did
You
not say
you
that.
completely
Yeah,
misunderstood
he
what I
did-
was
he
saying.
I'll
say
show you
that.
because I made marks when you said it so I could come back to it.
I can't wait.
All right.
Okay.
By the way, my oldest son's an electrician.
Yeah.
I was bummed out that he didn't go to college, but he took the trades. So I know I'm way off topic
No,
here.
Please.
come on.
But
There is no topic.
circling back to college and liberal arts and all that, I think liberal arts is a very valuable education. It helps you to critically think. But
I
at the
agree
same
with that.
time, my son is making 6 figures and has no student debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And has a stable,
very
safe
stable.
career.
Very stable,
At any point, he could multiply that into running his own operation.
which is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's starting his own business now.
It's a home inspection business.
Nice.
Doing very well. Yeah.
He could make $1 billion.
He could. I just hope he can take.
I'm not joking. He has a valuable skill and an absence of debt, and he could do very well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm very proud of him. And when he first told me he was going to go into the trades, I helped him get in the union, by the way, because I knew the union president. But
Yeah.
I was disappointed because I was the first person in my family to graduate from college, and I wanted my sons to do that, and neither one of them did.
Yeah.
So,
But that's an interesting topic to me because I didn't go to college, and I found that there were many experiences where it was a barrier to what I had pursued in life. But it sounds like your sons are doing great.
Oh, they are. They are. Yeah, you definitely don't need to go to college. Not everybody.
Yeah, and also if you just lie and say you did, no one will ever ask.
You're probably right about that.
Nobody's ever asked to see any of my degrees.
Okay.
And
Well, me neither, come to think of it.
No, by the way, if we're talking about like a vocational degree, like an engineer, an attorney,
Yeah.
medical,
Let's see it. Right.
no, they might need transcripts but they're it's gonna be really obvious if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
My first job before I graduated college, I went to work for Owens, Illinois. They wanted the transcript. They wanted it all.
Well, it was
And-
your first job
yeah,
because you had
yeah.
nothing valuable
correct,
to offer.
yeah.
I will say in the hiring world right now, everybody's lying because everybody's using AI to read the resumes. And the qualifications and criteria have really nothing to do with the job itself.
What do you mean by everybody?
I'm sorry, I say everybody's lying. I'm saying it's very
Don't.
it's rampant.
I know you want to do it. I want to go back to what Frank said about going to
nobody
college
checks.
and children not going to college, because that is part of the overwhelming piece to this, right? I went to college. I want my kids to experience what I experienced, and yet your children and Daniel's children, that generation specifically, was pushed to go to college, and there's a void there, right? And thank goodness, truly, that your son is doing well and found
We're
what
gonna.
makes him
We
happy.
need those people.
Man, do we ever?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a crisis coming.
Which people?
Labor.
Tradesmen, plumbers,
yeah,
electricians,
Yeah,
mechanics.
it's coming.
No, I agree. I thought we were talking about college degrees, and I'm like, maybe 8 of them. Yes,
No,
we need
no,
we need
no,
a lot
no,
more of 8
no,
of them. The rest of them, no.
But here's we go back to this conversation about, do we need billionaires? I want to table that, but I do want to bring faith back
and
into
can
this
they go to
equation.
heaven?
If you're a billionaire, let's just say Aaron, you're a billionaire.
I would defer
You're there.
to you as to what a billionaire is like.
You're there. You're a billionaire.
Okay.
When you meet God and God says to you, Aaron, did you do what I asked you to do? And you know what he asked you to do because you went to seminary school. You were more qualified than any of us to answer.
I would say, so
So-
I reject every level of the question, but to be cooperative,
Thank you.
Your point is, could I, having made $1 billion,
Could
face
you-
God with a clear conscience?
Well, not so much clear conscience.
No,
just,
that's not.
just, did you do what I asked you to do? And what does
I don't know what God asked me to do.
Yeah,
would you
but
like
the
to-
clear
what
conscience
does-
thing.
What
I
does,
think.
God ask us to do?
Well, to believe, but
Well,
that's
no,
it
that
needs
too.
to be more than that.
To
And-
to help others,
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
to love others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's love.
have you ever met anybody who doesn't think they help others?
I don't know.
Whether they do or not. Have you ever met anybody who
this-
doesn't think they're the hero?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
You've met some? Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody I've talked to, they think they're
They're
the reason
it?
the world's a better place,
Yeah.
and maybe they are. But the
I
point
doubt
is,
it.
I've never met anybody who goes, "Yeah, I really don't like what I'm doing because it's insignificant and I'm hurting people."
You've never met anybody that said that?
No.
I've run into that so many times.
Amy left the law because she was disgusted that human life was a very low value.
Yeah.
Turns out, if ever you wonder what a human life is worth, it's about $80,000.
Really.
Yeah, that's what you can get. I mean, you can get it for less if they don't have a good attorney, but it's not a lot of money.
I love the question. I love the question because I heard this not long ago, and
What-
it was. Here's the question: the individual was asked, if you met God, if you could ask him one thing, what would you ask him? And the guy thought about it. I mean, it's just dead silence for about a minute, and he finally looked up and he said, "I'd ask him, did I get it right?"
Asking
Asking
God.
Did I get it right? As in, did I get it right? What you wanted me to do?
I do
what
like
you asked me
that, the
to
get
do.
it right versus was I right.
Yeah.
Because
Did I get it right?
me being right's not important, but are we,
I think if I was faced with a creator, which, not to spoil the other podcasts that you'll listen to, but
You're fine.
I may not believe in a creator currently,
Okay.
but he has in the past,
but I have in the past for
Yeah.
most
and he
of
may
my
in
life.
the future.
And I'm waiting on the next stage.
Go on.
I think that if I had achieved some level of becoming a multi-billionaire or
Yeah.
whatever level, and I had built a company with, obviously with help, but whatever you want to, however
Yeah,
you want to
right,
define
right,
it. I
right.
built a company, amazingly successful. It's doing things that make the world a better place in my view. I would want to first run that company by saying, what are the smart ways to run this business? I want to make sure that I'm understanding market rates for labor and understanding market rates for goods and services that I contract out or buy or whatever. And then on top of that, I would like to say, I want to make sure that anybody that works for me does really, really well.
That'd be
Ding,
great.
ding,
So-
ding.
So then,
Can you give an example of any company that's succeeded doing that?
No, so I think that there are lots
Any
of them,
public
but I
company.
don't think that I can give you
No,
an
I don't
example
mean to
because I
diminish
didn't
it.
come prepared to talk about that specific thing.
I assume there are, by the way.
Yeah.
I would like to know. That's why I
So
was
some of the
asking.
companies, I can give you one, Shield Sexton. They're not publicly traded. They're a private company, but they're an
Big one,
ESOP.
yeah.
They're an ESOP. They're an employee-owned company.
It's a fantastic example.
It's phenomenal. As a new hire, you're coming into a company and you're giving shares to that company. You're a shareholder to a privately held company. My goodness, you want to talk about people that perform and never leave? Holy bananas. And when they do leave, it's because they're catapulting to something way different.
Greater
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah.
versus.
Yeah, so it's created
Yeah.
something that lifts them, and this is where I think we bring Frank into the conversation because more of those people. So I think that there are so many people in the world that would be fantastic givers to a program like the fantastic programs that you're raising funds for, Frank, and they have all they need is the opportunity to have the capacity. And I
Yeah.
think that the way that you can tell who will be a good giver when they're rich, before they're rich, the way you can identify them is they're already giving.
Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I only know personally 4 people that I consider wealthy.
Yeah.
Wealthy, like I don't ever have to do anything again, and me and my family are fine. They are the most generous people I know. Interestingly, coincidentally, they all tend to lean conservative, but they are very generous to different perspectives because they respect. I'm wondering what that Ebenezer Scrooge-ish type of persona, like where that comes from.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't know many wealthy people, and the
Yeah.
few that I do, in my mind, wealth is $10 to $20 million, which is not nothing, but that's probably
lot.
well for somebody to have built a net worth of
that's-
that over their life.
That's the 1%.
Yeah.
Anything over 7
Definitely.
million is
But
the
but there's
1%.
also a lot above that. Is
yeah.
what I
was
think you're
gonna
saying.
I was going to say if you live here, you're in the 1% globally, right?
Oh yeah, globally it's $56,000.
But we have, and I share some of the same things that I've heard. That I think that's why I'm pushing back so much. Is I've caught myself being resentful, saying the same things.
Yeah.
Of well, that person must not have deserved it because they have more than me.
Right.
Who are these people that were basing this?
The Ebenezer
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
For lack of a better metaphor,
It's
yeah.
it's a great metaphor. I know many wealthy people, and I'm close to some and not close to others. But I've met and gotten acquainted with many wealthy people, and I have not seen one type of person among them.
Oh, okay.
I have not
Oh, yeah,
seen.
yeah, that's fair.
I've not seen very many trends whatsoever. So
I'd have to agree with that.
I haven't.
generous is the
I have
only one
seen
I've
the
seen.
Ebenezer.
Oh, and people who don't agree with them hate them.
I didn't see that.
I'm not. Well, I've seen the Ebenezer, and I have seen what's the other side of
The
that coin.
Full on give everything.
Yeah,
and-
the generous
But, yeah,
person,
the
but we need need an archetype for that.
I'd have to agree with that, Daniel.
And so what I conclude from that is that people are people,
Right.
and some of their circumstances shape them, but wealth is just a factor of a circumstance.
Yeah.
It is not.
Yeah,
All
wealth
of the
is wealth
details.
is a consequence.
So
often.
we have a friend that I can't name, grew up in poverty, and made it in a really big way,
How poverty?
like food stamps. Government cheese.
So, yeah.
Yeah, literally government cheese.
I mean, like homeless in Vietnam
No,
poverty,
no,
or just
no.
American poverty,
American
where
poverty,
you're getting subs. Yeah.
Dad dies.
Well, you know, I
got-
was gonna say, I think you know two more too.
Yeah, we a bunch of siblings, right? But they made it. I mean, he's made it in a big way.
Yeah.
And he's not an over generous person, right? Because of how he grew up.
He's almost hoards
Yeah.
in some ways.
Yeah, like I had nothing. I have all this, but I got to protect it because I had
Yeah.
nothing as a child growing up.
Yeah, so I would say for someone like that, their circumstances shaped how they're viewing
100%.
the world around them.
100%.
And they're thinking, I worked hard.
Right.
You know, maybe
you?
maybe
Right.
they expect other
Or-
people to
or it would-
instead of being a little bit more giving.
Couldn't
So
agree
I'm
with you
not
more.
saying there's
no,
a right
I couldn't
set.
agree with you more. But it would be easy to look on the outside and say, God, you have so much, but you don't do anything with it. You're Scrooge.
Yeah.
Like, why? But you have to understand that. We have to understand how people came into this situation.
And there's a bit of a person in the arena thing.
Yeah,
Because to
yeah,
your question earlier about me being burnt, the only burnt I've ever been is when in doubt, be generous has been a policy of mine.
I like that.
And when I've had many people dependent on me, the last business, which unfortunately ended, it was a question of, do I take care of myself or do I take care of everybody else? And the answer was everybody else, because I'll be fine. And I don't want to have to live with
That's great.
being selfish, right? Listen, it is selfish. I want to be able to sleep at night, and guilt racks me, so I avoid those things. It's very self-serving. It just happens to be like morally aligned. But I've never been generous and looked back on it and gone, wow, that was really rewarding. It was, at least I did the right thing, as I watched the people I tried to take care of loot on the way out.
Yeah,
So
I can
there's
understand that.
There's some.
perspective.
That's a lot of where it is, because it's small scale, it's personal. So to your point about the friend who someday does make it, and maybe if he was lucky, that was his first attempt, or maybe it was his sixth or seventh.
Right.
But I could definitely see rationalizing that as, listen, I took care of everybody the best I could, and I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess you're right, that it depends on the person and their path. That's going to
Yeah.
have a huge impact.
For sure.
Well, and the people I talk to as I'm having philanthropic conversations, like I said, everyone has a story, and everybody's motivated by something that happened to them in the past, a traumatic event, or a brother who had cancer, or, whatever it might be, that triggers that philanthropic spirit. But in my business, you find out very quickly, people are either philanthropic or they're not. You can't talk someone into giving. You just can't do it.
Right.
So,
I totally agree with that. And that's in all aspects of life, right? I mean, it really is.
But I like the point you made about you can't talk somebody into giving, because
well, some people can.
what you
Yeah.
I would still argue that
I don't think you can.
that's not the path, right? What you said earlier in the conversation is you said you want to understand somebody's story and understand how giving connects with that story, right? So if you want to, if somebody's going to become a giver, it's because you helped them to find their way to what they already wanted to do, because that story is really where they're coming from.
Yeah.
That personal experience that made something matter to them. And maybe it's just, the assumption is that you're talking with people that have the capacity to donate. Okay, so we're setting that aside as a standard, but you're in a conversation with someone, and you're helping them to understand how there's a program in Marion that accomplishes something that they care about. Maybe it wasn't about whether give or not give was not the question. It was, is this the place where something that I care
There's
about
a bigger,
is being,
a bigger idea than just giving.
yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, something beyond that.
And back to something Aaron said, that he did all that giving and didn't really find any satisfaction from that.
No. I didn't look back on it and think, wow, I'm really grateful that I did. I did the right thing.
Right.
I was just hoping for some positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, people that give the scholarships see a scholarship recipient at dinner, and they feel really good about what they did.
Yeah.
So you got to show the donors their impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also take it a step further, Frank, and just say to give from the heart is to give without expectation, right? And you're doing it because...
Yeah. And I think there's something different than paying out all your employees on closing a struggling business versus being someone of wealth that has opportunities. For,
and Aaron, you are to be commended for doing that. You really are.
It's not. It's not for commendation.
But you are though, because the easy way out. Yeah.
I know I'm a good person. I don't always make the right choices, but
the easy way out would be, you're all out. We're done.
I don't know.
Move on.
I always assume I'm going to get caught, so don't bother.
That's good stuff. That is good stuff. I know Frank has got to be up on the north side here shortly, so I just want to be conscious of your time. You're welcome, and thank you for coming in and sharing your thoughts with us.
I've really enjoyed this, gentlemen, and you made me feel very comfortable.
Yes, that's a win.
Anymore.
There you go. You ready to do your next podcast?
I am.
All right. Thanks, Frank.
All right. Thanks
Thanks
so
for
much.
being with us. Cheers.